Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
You struggled with anxiety from this abuse, and yet your husband is free to go mocking it.
And she is also accusing him of inappropriateness, uncomfortableness towards other female cast members, probably her sister. I don't call her Blake No Receipts Lively for nothing.
An unprecedented legal battle has erupted in Hollywood, pitting celebrated stars against one another in a multifaceted dispute that has captured widespread attention. In this high-stakes drama, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni are entangled in a complex web of lawsuits, counterclaims, and aggressive legal filings. Court documents reveal a series of strategic maneuvers and power struggles, with each party fiercely contesting the narrative to protect their reputations and interests. Explosive new evidence and revelations have transformed what might have been a routine legal matter into an intricate, ongoing conflict. With each filing, allegations intensify and the scope of the drama expands, leaving industry insiders and the public riveted by the evolving battle behind closed courtroom doors. Commentator Candace Owens has emerged as a key voice in this explosive saga, injecting her trademark incisive commentary into every twist and turn. Following the drama with relentless attention, Owens has been sharing a wealth of behind-the-scenes insights that challenge the official narrative. She contends that Ryan Reynolds has been a significant, if not covert, influencer in shaping legal strategies and key decisions, a stance she reinforces through detailed social media posts and live commentary. And please like and subscribe as we spill this tea.
All right, you guys. So Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada. Once again, this is a way for the left and the right to come together, because no matter where you stand on the topic of mass deportations of illegals, we can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
The intimacy coordinator in some of those sexier scenes, like we saw you.
That shouldn't be happening, by the way. I just want to be clear that you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have.
Well,
thank goodness.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
that.
this?
That
I
clip?
actually just saw it too. It was on Instagram yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, you know, romance is really important.
That this was a very deranged A-list plot to just completely stage a hostile takeover of Justin Baldoni's movie and his sequel. And I'm telling you, this is, I hope it goes to court. It's not going to.
Owens' analysis suggests that Reynolds' involvement runs deep. Contrary to his laid-back public persona, and her persistent investigations have uncovered nuances that many believe were deliberately obscured. Her outspoken, insider style. Observations have stirred considerable debate among legal experts and fans, adding an extra layer of complexity to an already volatile dispute.
I honestly don't think that Blake Lively really wanted to go with the lawsuit. I think that Ryan Reynolds was pushing it for two reasons. The first being it allows him to destroy Justin Baldoni, which is ultimately what he wants. He wants revenge. He wants to destroy the man who he felt was going to steal his wife. And number two, he did it because Blake Lively is crying in her bedroom and he wants to be the savior. And in his twisted mind, he thought that this was going to just simply be a little New York Times article. They're millennials as well, so they don't understand the power of social media, and they simply thought, oh, these are the gatekeepers. This is mainstream media. They're going to go with our narrative and nobody else is going to ask any questions. He did not anticipate that it would backfire to this extent. And ironically, I think in a lot of ways, Ryan Reynolds' very toxic, possessive behavior is actually perfectly mirroring the content of the book and the movie It Ends With Us, particularly in the way that men behave within toxic relationships.
Blake Lively's legal team has embraced an aggressive strategy by issuing subpoenas to telecom giants like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Their goal is to access a vast array of communication data, call logs, text messages, and location information from December 2022 to the present, aiming to create a comprehensive timeline. Additionally, they are subpoenaing Justin's phone records, searching for interactions crucial to the case. This sweeping demand underlines their commitment to securing every possible detail, seeking a robust evidentiary foundation. Critics, however, argue that this high-pressure tactic could overwhelm the opposition and risk backfiring if viewed as too intrusive or procedurally flawed.
Blake is trying to rewrite the history just like AH did. She's literally out there trying to change the facts that we have. Why on earth would you include a Hollywood reporter expert who wasn't there? This would never hold up in court. You're grasping at straws, just like she did. This is desperate. This is pathetic, and it's hurting real victims. This is what it's about? Because he acted in a scene with you where he snuzzled and kissed your forehead? Are you serious? The same woman who talked about how she likes to ball bust without teeth? Are you nuts? This is crazy. The hypocrisy here is insane. You and Ryan are so gross and explicit, but now in a scene where you're acting, it crossed the line? No, you're changing this all and you're making this trying to justify it because you can't admit you're wrong.
Emerging evidence and leaked text messages have thrust Ryan Reynolds into the center of the controversy, suggesting his involvement extends well beyond his public image. The documentation points to Reynolds playing an active role in the legal maneuvering, including alleged participation in secret rewrites of key legal strategies. Some reports indicate that Reynolds may have even contributed offhand remarks intended to downplay serious allegations, thereby muddying the waters of the case. Critics, notably voices like Candace Owens, argue that such behind-the-scenes actions reveal a more calculated and influential figure at work. These revelations challenge the narrative that Reynolds was merely a bystander, instead portraying him as a strategic player whose decisions and communications may have altered the case's trajectory. As more details come to light, the implications of his involvement are forcing legal analysts and the public to reassess his true role in the unfolding dispute.
It's Blake Lively speaking at the Forbes Women's Summit, and this is from 2022, and she's just sort of casually discussing how, she lies and she takes over movies. Take a listen.
I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, and that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I don't want to just be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship.
Yeah, I bet it did feel like a bit of a rug pull. I would say this. Blake Lively, I almost appreciate her because she doesn't know she's insane. Like, she doesn't know how insane that sounds. And whoever was sitting across from her had to nod and go along with this. And you're going, wait, you're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are. Maybe that has something to do with why you're now being sued for promissory fraud, because you're admitting that you go in there and you're like, yeah, I'd like to be an actor. And then you take over everything.
Recent developments have spotlighted significant procedural missteps by Blake Lively's legal team, most notably their failure to meet crucial filing deadlines. These missed deadlines, occurring right up to the wire, have sparked serious concerns about the team's internal organization and overall strategy. Legal experts and critics alike suggest that such oversights could severely weaken Lively's position, providing the opposing side with ammunition to question her camp's preparedness and credibility. The delay in submitting vital documents not only introduces potential gaps in the evidence, but also creates an impression of disarray that may undermine the legitimacy of the entire case. As the legal battle intensifies, these procedural errors could have far-reaching consequences, influencing judicial perceptions and shaping the broader narrative in ways that could decisively impact the outcome of the dispute.
Honestly, guys, I think Blake Lively's amended lawsuit makes her look even worse. I feel like I'm reading a fan fiction written by Ryan Reynolds himself. They give us no actual new evidence or text messages. You're sitting here telling us that these complaints that were made against Justin Baldoni are written, they were written complaints. Where are they? We don't have the names of the people. Okay, at this point, these other female actresses on set either need to come forward and be like, hey, this is false. none of us said anything, or you need to come forward and like put your name out there. I don't know what the problem with putting their name out there would be, seeing as how Justin Baldoni is well aware that they made complaints. They say he acknowledged the complaints in Blake's amended lawsuit. The fact that they're using his Man Enough podcast, things he said on it, and his TED Talks, trying to use it as like, we got you, like we're using this against you, just really proves more so how much you don't have. Honestly, we just continue to get stories from Blake Lively with no additional evidence.
Blake Lively's portrayal as a victim is being challenged by insider accounts and conflicting testimonies that paint a more complex picture. Multiple sources suggest that her actions on set, rewriting lines, interfering with production, and dictating edits, contradict the idea of a powerless victim. These behaviors hint at an ambition-driven approach, not merely a reaction to mistreatment. Critics argue that this raises doubt about the authenticity of Lively's victim narrative, prompting legal experts and the public to reconsider her public image in light of these new revelations. Blake Lively's victim image is under scrutiny. Insider accounts and conflicting testimonies reveal she rewrote lines, meddled in editing, and controlled production, contradicting her portrayal as powerless. Critics argue her actions suggest ambition rather than genuine mistreatment, prompting legal experts and the public to question whether her public persona truly reflects the complex reality behind the allegations.
Constantly are telling you the truth about everything, and they don't care what anybody has to think about it or say about it. And so this individual wrote this. I'm cutting off the person's name, obviously, because I'm afraid Ryan Reynolds will go after him. It came in from Alberta, Canada. He said, "It may be an odd thing. I was his first acting teacher. True. Summer 1989, he was 12. His parents had gone on a vacation, so grandparents he was left with had him for 3 weeks, as I recall. After a week, they enrolled him in my classes, essentially, as I found out, because they needed a break from him. Within the first 3 days, I had had enough. The other kids had had enough, and their parents were complaining because everything was about him. Self-centered, loud, sneaky, obnoxious, narcissistic, unkind, and deceitful. I spoke to the grandparents that he needed to abide by the expectations, or I'd punt him and give them a refund. The next day, same old, so I kicked him out. 2 days back with the grandparents, they begged me to take him back, so I set on a couple of conditions."
In response to the allegations, Justin Baldoni's legal team is launching a fierce counterattack, labeling the lawsuit as baseless and driven by hearsay. They claim Blake Lively's legal action is more about manipulating public opinion and silencing him than addressing real issues. Baldoni's camp argues the evidence is weak, framing the lawsuit as an overreach. This escalating legal showdown is set to expose contradictions on both sides in a high-profile battle that promises to be both explosive and hard-fought. Justin Baldoni's legal team fires back, dismissing the claims as baseless. Hearsay. Baldoni argues the lawsuit is a ploy by Blake Lively to silence him and manipulate public opinion, using flimsy evidence to intimidate rather than resolve issues. His camp calls the suit a desperate cover-up of a tarnished image, setting the stage for a protracted, high-stakes legal showdown where each side aims to expose the other's inconsistencies.
From that source, it is my view they would have kept him on. He was fantastic in all his roles because they found it so easy to maneuver him into a submissive position. But when Ryan and Blake sat down to watch the footage, she was told Ryan Reynolds became increasingly unsettled when he witnessed the unbridled attraction his wife was displaying towards Baldoni. He went ballistic. He felt threatened and must have wondered if she was going to lure Baldoni in the way she had lured him in all those years ago. So what does Blake do? She denies being attracted to Baldoni, spins her actions of attraction into victimhood, and blames her co-star for taking advantage of her.
Insider revelations expose Blake Lively's disruptive on-set behavior, including constant rewrites, interfering with fittings, and controlling wardrobe, casting, and editing decisions. Crew members describe chaos and delays, with last-minute changes driving up costs. These actions challenge her victim image, pointing to a pattern of ambition and creative control. As tensions rise, critics argue that such behavior fueled the escalating legal battle, complicating the public perception and legal drama now unfolding. Former insiders reveal a chaotic on-set scene, with Blake Lively constantly rewriting lines, interfering with fittings, and dominating wardrobe, casting, and editing decisions. Her disruptive tactics caused delays and budget overruns, challenging her victim image. Critics argue she was driven by a quest for absolute creative control, fueling tensions that have spilled into the courtroom and adding a dramatic twist to the legal battle. The legal battle has become a media frenzy, with bombshell, filings, leaked text messages, and conflicting accounts grabbing public attention. News outlets, social media, and insiders are diving into every development, turning each detail into a hot topic of debate. This spotlight has amplified the stakes, forcing all involved to carefully manage their public images. Legal experts and fans are split on the authenticity of the claims, making it a high-pressure spectacle where every move shapes reputations and fuels the ongoing controversy.
That Ryan Reynolds went to extreme lengths to humiliate him, including modeling a character called Nice Pool after clearly Justin Baldoni in the Deadpool movie, where that character was actually Poo 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 by Blake Lively, who was also in the Deadpool movie. This is not just your average workplace disagreement. This was an impassioned, loathing, burning, vengeful hatred that Ryan Reynolds felt toward Justin Baldoni.
Bombshell filings, leaked texts, and conflicting testimonies have turned this legal battle into a media frenzy. Major outlets, social media, and experts dissect every twist, sparking heated debate over each piece of evidence. Under relentless scrutiny, every move is analyzed for legal and reputational fallout, intensifying pressure on all parties in a high-stakes, volatile showdown. With a staggering $400 million price tag, this lawsuit exposes massive reputational and financial risks in Hollywood. Both sides are battling hard, with career-altering stakes and long-term consequences on the line. As this high-stakes fight unfolds, the true cost of celebrity litigation is laid bare. Thanks for watching. If you crave more explosive updates, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for your next dose of drama.